John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Let me start off this video with a question. Who's the person you love the most, and would you be willing to die for them? You might think it's a tough question to answer, but I don't suppose there's much to think about. It's an intrinsic choice that will occur in the spur of the moment, for it's not something you prepare for. You've prepared for it subconsciously, and the choices you've made have been shaped by your core belief system. That is why, whether we like it or not, religion should be here to stay. But I'm not here to make the case for religion. That would be a whole different video. So let's go back to the question. One of two things will determine what you choose. Either it's going to come down to how much you love that person, or how much you love yourself. Let's just say you feel cavalier, and in your heart you proclaim that you will take a bullet for the majority of people. Would you take one for your enemies? This is how much God loved us. He didn't die only for the Jews. He didn't die only for the Arabs. He didn't die for a specific race or for a specific country. He died for you and me. He died for the believer and for the unbeliever, for his friends and for his enemies. While Jesus was nailed on a cross, he said this one astounding thing: Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. I think everyone that's honest with themselves will admit that we have failed to love the way we ought to love. Why have we set the standard so high? Why do we recognize that we are imperfect? I would make the argument that it's because of him. You see, he didn't just show us how to love. He is love. God is love, and all who live in love live in God, and God lives in them. 1 John 4:16. If we have any chance to love someone purely, then we must come to embrace love itself. He not only displayed his love by dying for us, but he also displayed it by living. In John 10:10, he said, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Who else lived so I may live as well? Who else can satisfy my soul as with marrow and fatness, and make me soar high on wings like eagles when I feel like I can't go on any longer? Only he can satisfy my soul in this dry and thirsty land with living waters. Like a caring mother, he watches over me like a hen gathers her chicks under her wings. And like a forgiving father, not only accepts me back after rebelling against his loving kindness, but also puts on me his best robe and holds a feast in celebration of my return. And in case you might be asking yourself, well, that's fine and dandy, but didn't he die? Well, spoiler alert, he resurrected. Not only that, but he is with us now through his Holy Spirit. True to his word, he said, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. He said he wouldn't abandon us as orphans. Later on in the chapter, in verse 23, he makes it clear that all who love me will do what I say. My Father will love them, and we will come and make our home with each of them. And that's the kicker. Do we love him? I already foresee a few viewing this condition as repugnant. All that love he showed us, just so it would appear to be conditional? Oh, here I thought his love was unconditional. It is, and he loves us so much that he gives us the freedom to choose ourselves. That is the main reason we are able to love in the first place. One main reason people from my generation view this as foolish is because they don't feel the need to be saved. In this prosperous country, combined with the technological futility of many distractions, one may be easily deceived into believing they are living their best life. I don't blame my fellow brethren. I used to be that person. I didn't walk into church gasping for air, desperate for forgiveness. I actually walked into the building all smiles until I opened the good book and my spirit capitulated to the righteousness therein. My soul got flooded with guilt that you will try to spit out unless you are ready for change. Romans 7:7 was read, and no longer could I refrain. Now I willingly accepted his love, lest I go insane. So I ask you, fellow viewer, do you believe you could save yourself? Do you recognize that you need saving? Does it appear weak to you that one would need it? Probably death is distant, very distant from your mind, which is why I pray this often. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. For trust me, too frequently we are ignorant of this gift we call life. I've tried to do the impossible, for truly no words could ever come close to describing His love for us. But for those that have gotten glimpses of it on this earth, these final words I leave you. Look to Jesus, the perfecter of our faith. Remember that as far as the east is from the west, so far has He removed our transgressions from us. Pray without ceasing, lest you fall into temptation. When you sin, go to Him. Ask for forgiveness and rest easy, knowing that whoever comes to Him, He will never cast out. We don't serve someone who isn't able to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has been tempted in every way as we are, yet without sin. The sting of death has vanished because of His love for me. Now I live life knowing what it is to be free.